What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Los Angeles Clippers and Chicago Bulls. And of course, you know that this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls are coming off a not, so good road trip. It didn't bolster too well, but facing off against a Los Angeles Clippers team who's been on the road and did not play their stars in their last game, they ultimately were coming out rested, so to speak. And the Chicago Bulls, in my opinion, needed this win tonight. They needed to show why, okay, let's build on what happened versus the Magic. And add to those wins. We're right on the cusp of competing. Right there. We're right there. We're not in the play-in, but we're like right there. We can beat some of these teams and then climb in the standings. And tonight was one of those nights where that's what me personally I was looking for. Now the Bulls did get out to a 5-0 start. And then you ultimately seen them jump out to a 10-5 lead. Vucevic was very aggressive early, and you seen him looking for the ball. One thing I did hear tonight was Nikola Vucevic was, looking for his place in the Bulls' offense. And him and Billy Donovan was trying to do that over the course of last year going into this year. And finally, he looks comfortable. You've seen DeMar DeRozan get into his spots early. And ultimately, the Bulls were up 12 after one, 32-20. Now, DeMar DeRozan picked up where he left off in the first, getting to his spots again. The Bulls were shooting the lights out, honestly. They already hit 6 threes in the first quarter. They hit 6 threes in the first quarter. Now, you seen Ayo get to the rim. 8 threes were made collectively by the Chicago Bulls, and they grew the lead to as much as 19 in the second. The Clippers, then you seen them get their rhythm. You seen Kawhi start to hit shots, Norman Powell. You seen Reggie Jackson. You seen Nicholas Batum, Terrence Mann. You seen them all start to come together and bring what we thought was going to happen, and they got the lead down to 12. But you still seen Vucevic getting in the paint. Zach LaVine wasn't non-existent in the first half, but he didn't have a very, loud beginning to this game. The Clippers offense started to get going again, like I said. The Bulls offense started going through a lull, so to speak. Those moments where guys are just standing around looking at each other, which led to like bad turnovers. The Bulls did not turn the ball over bad in the first quarter, but from the onset, from the second to third to the rest of the game, the Bulls was just turning the ball over horribly. You seen the Clippers tie the game in the second at 50. So you seen Vucevic with 17 in the first. The Bulls do have a 4-point lead at half, 58-54. But the game didn't feel like the Bulls were actually leading. It just felt like they withstood enough of the Clippers' run so that they could be leading in the basketball game, honestly, going into half. Now, the Clippers end up getting the first 2 baskets of the third. But then you see Patrick Williams start to come on. And in the third, it was a lot of back and forth from Chicago and LA. They were going back and forth the entire third. You see Patrick Williams hit a 3 and be aggressive. And that's all you can ask for from him. The Clippers, they went up. They did get a lead in the third, but it was short-lived. You seen the 3 by Ayo Dosunmu. Vooch kept having a good game, which turned into a great game. You seen Zach LaVine catch and shoot started to come on in the third quarter. But Zubac, he was on the boards. It was just moments in the quarter where Vucevic would help, and then Zubac would be left with a small guard or an advantage on the glass, and he was taking advantage of it all night. Norman Powell was honestly the best option for the Clippers. But Kawhi Leonard did have a good game himself. But Kawhi Leonard was the one that I kept hearing his name. He was doing a lot tonight. Now, You did see the Bulls. They were down going into the fourth quarter. And, even though they were down, the Bulls were in the game, and having a closer like DeMar DeRozan, I never thought that the Bulls were out of this game. Even when the Clippers were trying to pull away late in tonight's matchup, I never felt like if the Bulls don't go on a run, they won't get it close or won't get the game down enough to where as though they might come back and win. Now, the Clippers were up late in tonight's matchup, and the Bulls, they were down 3. They were down 3 late in the ball game tonight. Zach LaVine, he has a chance to tie the game. He shoots a 3. He gets fouled. Okay, that's fine. He gets fouled. Zach LaVine's a pretty good free throw shooter. Everybody is like, well, he shoots a good enough percentage to where as though you're not too worried. But again, in situations like this, pressure can be a real thing. Now, when Zach goes to the free throw line, he misses the first. Now, as he misses the first, you're like, okay, the Bulls have, matter of fact, they wasn't down 3. Excuse me, they were down 2. Zach had a chance to put them up. And he missed the first one. He missed the second one. So he had to make the third. He had to make the third free throw, which he did. The Clippers got the ball, and DeMar DeRozan was called for a foul. I don't think it was honestly, it was the right call. He bodied up on Paul George. Now, in doing so, the Bulls, that was their last foul to give. The Clippers elected to go to the rim the next play. Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan converge, and they end up calling a foul. The foul was ultimately challenged by Billy Donovan. It was about 10 seconds left in the basketball game at this time. The foul was challenged by Billy Donovan. It ended up successful, but the foul was switched from DeRozan to Caruso, and the Clippers ultimately did go to the line. Now, the Clippers went to the line up 1. The free throws were made, and the Chicago Bulls called timeout. This is where I have a problem. They call a timeout, so that means this is an after timeout play being called in the huddle. You have your 5 best players that you figure can close the game or get you, close enough to tie the game. So you have your usual suspects in there to finish the game. And the Chicago Bulls turn the ball over trying to inbound the basketball. That cannot happen when the game is on the line. There's no excuse. I'm tired of giving these guys excuses. I'm tired of seeing them lose in ways that you figure you're up 19 against this team, 20 against this team, 20 against this team, and you're finding ways to lose. At this point, well, excuse me, before I get to the ending, the Chicago Bulls ended up losing tonight's matchup to the Los Angeles Clippers. And like I said, man, it's a situation where these type of things cannot continue to happen. The Bulls ended up losing tonight by a score of 108 to 103. The Chicago Bulls are now 23-27, 4 games under 500. They scored 32 in the first quarter, but that was the only quarter that the Chicago Bulls actually won. The Clippers won every quarter. After that, Kawhi Leonard was the game's high scorer with 33. Vucevic was the high scorer for the Chicago Bulls with 23. And like I said, ultimately, man, you go up, you got to learn how to put these teams away. and put them away early. For the Clippers, you had Kawhi with 33, Zubac with a double-double with 14 and 12, Paul George with a double-double with 16 and 10, Zach LaVine with 18 points and 14 rebounds, 8 assists, DeMar DeRozan with 20 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 0 of 2 from 3, and he shot 8 of 19 from the field. Vucevic with 23 and 14. Honestly, Nikola Vucevic has been, over the course of the last month, I think Nikola Vucevic has been the most consistent Chicago Bull, which is a good thing because I'm going to get into what I want to say at the end of this video. You see 10 points from Alex Caruso. Kobe White shot 3 of 8, 2 threes, 8 points. Alex Caruso did knock down 2 threes, did have 3 assists, 2 rebounds. You've seen the Andre Drummond appearance for 4 minutes. He did have 5 rebounds and 2 points. Derrick Jones Jr. did not score in 16 minutes tonight. Ayo Dosunmu went 4 of 7 from the field. He hit a 3, had 11 for the game, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Patrick Williams did have 11 points, 6 rebounds, and assists, went 1 of 3 from 3, and 4 of 8 from the field. The Chicago Bulls did grab 51 rebounds as a team. They shot 12 of 24 from 3. 12 of 24 from 3, 38 for 77 from the field. So that's 49% for the game, 50 from 3. Yeah, man, like I said, a lot of turnovers. The Chicago Bulls turned the ball over a lot tonight. As I look at team stats, they turned the ball over themselves 20 times to the Clippers 8. You're not going to win a basketball game like that. The Bulls did have 26 assists. So that's a bright spot. But again, you can't hang your hat on losses. At this point of the year, with the trade deadline looming, and Nikola Vucevic doesn't have a new contract. Zach LaVine just received a new contract. DeMar DeRozan, I read somewhere that he wants somewhere around $140 million. The writing is on the wall. We know Lonzo Ball will not, in my opinion, it hasn't been said, but I don't feel like Lonzo Ball is going to play at all this year. I think the Chicago Bulls, this is just me. I don't know if this is an emotional answer, but I think it's time to look for some trade suitors for some of these guys. If these guys are going to play like this and ultimately, not finish the job. I mean, it's hard to win games in the NBA. Yes, it is. But when you have the talent, man, you have 3 multiple-time All-Stars on your roster. There's no excuse. And I'm calm right now. I'm calm. I'm so calm. But I'm hot at the same time. Like the Chicago Bulls, with the amount of talent that they have, should be they should be more well off than what they are currently. Honestly, they should be more well off. There's a lot to be said, man, from are they going to rebuild around a younger core? Do you trade Patrick Williams? Do you trade Kobe White? Do you trade Zach LaVine? Do you trade Vucevic and start over from scratch? I mean, it is a few players out there that, I feel like will be on the move. Fred VanVleet is one. We don't know what the Warriors want to do going forward with James Wiseman. We don't know what Jay Crowder's situation is with Phoenix. There's a lot of players that I feel will be on the move as we get closer to the trade deadline. Who's going to be some players, movers, and shakers? I think the Bulls will be players in this year's, trade deadline. I feel like Alex Caruso may be untouchable from what I'm reading. Vucevic has a lot of value. We know what DeMar DeRozan can bring. So it's yet to be determined. But as for tonight's game, the Chicago Bulls do lose versus the Los Angeles Clippers. The good thing is they get a few days off before they bounce back for the new month. February is a short month, so it's going to come and go really fast. We have the All-Star break. We have a lot to discuss in the month of February, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Bulls fans, Clippers fans, or if you're just an NBA fan and this is your first time tuning into this channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.